जी हो गया
हम्म,
हो गया हो गया। ये कहाँ से ली? वो एकदम
भाई चलो हम लोग नहीं करता तो नहीं कहता मानसा वाला लग जाएगा मेरा आपका
Am I audible, Bharat sir? Okay, sir. Thank you. A very warm good afternoon to the galaxy of intellectuals present today in this online in-house training session organized by Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. I extend my heartiest welcome to all in this online training session on the topic protection of child rights. I'd like to give my special thank to Honorable Shri Ashok Kumar, Principal, DAV Public School, Hazaribag, come President, Hazaribag Sahodaya School Complex. I also thank my principal, Holy Cross School, Hazaribag, to provide me this golden opportunity for sharing my understanding and views on the topic protection of child rights. Once again, good afternoon to all the principals and teachers of Sahodaya family. So today's session topic is protection of child rights. Childhood is probably that phase of life that most of us remember with a smile. So let me ask you a question. If you were asked to shut your eyes and remember a time when you were 10 or 12 years or even younger, what would you remember? Teachers are requested to say, please unmute yourself and say, okay. Most of us remember friends, travel, food, or toy or place. But for some of us, childhood also bring back feeling of fear, pain, and even shame. It is the fact that for many, many children, a happy, secure growing up remains a dream. But it is not what it should be, right? So let me ask you to reflect on few questions. Do you overthink that children also have rights? In a family, are all children treated in the same way? Do all children have a voice? Have you ever asked children for their opinion on anything? If no, then this session will help you to understand them better. So the learning objective of today's session to understand the definition of a child, to understand the meaning of child protection, the need for child protection, and understanding the issues involved, national and international efforts which are made to ensure child protection, responsibilities of school in ensuring child protection, policies and programs implemented for child protection, and some steps which can be taken up for child protection. So let's begin this session with the definition of a child. Childhood is the time where a child needs nurturing, schooling, time to play, and time to explore, the opportunities for physical and emotional growth. The concept of a child differs from culture to culture. Hence, it is very necessary to know the unique definition of a child in general and India in particular. Biologically, childhood is a stage between infancy and adulthood. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, UNCRC of 1989, defines a child as any human being below the age of 18 years, unless under the law. What are child rights? Child rights are specialized human rights that applies to all human beings below the age of 18. Your right is what someone else must do for you. Your right is also about what others must not do to you, such as discrimination, violence, etc. Let us come to the introductory part of the today's session. India has the largest number of children in the world, with 440 million of a population below 18 years and 40% of the total population. For our children to grow, society has to ensure a healthy atmosphere for social, emotional, and psychological development. Children are considered to be most vulnerable as they are incapable of protecting themselves. Yes, children are incapable of protecting themselves. They lack maturity and are unable to handle a situation, unlike adults. We are fully capable to take our decision, but children are not. It is our duty to create safe environment for all human beings, especially for children. But many children do not have safe and secure environment in public places, in schools, and even in their homes. They are facing discrimination, exploitation, and abuse. Ensuring a life of safety, dignity, and security to our future generations, child protection is for every child, irrespective of their socio-economic situation. They should be protected by social security and safety. Moving towards the types of child rights. 4 important rights in the context of children are the following. Number 1, survival rights. Number 2, development rights. Number 3, protection rights. And number 4, participation rights. I repeat, number 1, survival rights. Number 2, development rights. Number 3, protection rights. And number 4, participation rights. Coming to the topic one by one, survival rights. Survival rights include the right to life and most basic needs required for existence, such as nutrition, shelter, access to medical services, etc. Development rights include right to education, play, access to information, freedom of thought and religion. Protection rights. Protection rights ensure children are safeguarded against all form of abuse, neglect, and exploitation. Participation rights. Participation rights means children have rights to express their opinion, to say in the matter affecting their own life. It is their own life, so they have the right to participate what is good for them and what is bad for them. They can raise their voice. They can participate in every decision which is related to them. So please do think about all these and ensure that every child you come across have all these rights. If not, then let's take some step for the children's right. The most important topic for today's session is issues related to child rights. Survival rights include, so you can see here different rights like equality, care and protection, identity, right to information, justice, freedom of expression, citizenship, participation, dignity and respect, privacy, education, and play. These are the rights which they need, but there are issues in every right related to them. Survival rights include right to life, right to health, right to food, right to safe water. Right to life. What are the issues related to right to life of the children? Every child has the right to survive. According to survey report, the poverty, along with cultural preference for male children, I repeat, poverty, along with cultural preference for male children, has been mainly responsible for death of thousands of children in India every year. The practice of female feticide, selective abortion, female infanticide, drowning, poisoning, suffocation, or deliberate negligence leading to the death of child, and general neglect of girl children in India continue to result in large-scale deaths of girls, which have been adversely affected the sex ratio. Yes, girls' child are neglected. Next issue is the issue of right to health. A large number of children die each year in India. Lack of appropriate health care, lack of immunization, prevalence of preventable diseases, unsafe drinking water, absence of sanitation, dearth of regular monitoring of pregnancy, unsafe deliveries, and malnutrition are mainly responsible for most of the deaths. India accounts for one third of the world's children who suffer from malnutrition. 15% of the children in India have serious emotional disturbances. Right to safe water and food. In rural areas, children are not getting safe water. That is a big concern. Because of unsafe drinking water, children are exposed to various health problems. They are exposed to many waterborne diseases and are worst affected sufferer of this adversity. Because child body is not able to fight with the disease which they are getting fastly as compared to that of the adults. So they are affecting mostly. It is the right to not die of hunger and to not suffer from malnutrition. Next issue is the biggest issue, that is the issue to education. And what are the reasons for the lack of education to the children? Absence of parental literacy results in neglecting children's education. Yes, absence of parental literacy. Gender-based, caste-based discrimination are also the factors causing the decline of children education. People are giving preference to male child, not to girl child. Due to this, the girl child are suffering and not getting proper education. Girl child are neglected in the field of education. Girl child are denied equal opportunity in education. Many children are not enrolled in school and many drop out before completion of education are matters of great concern. Yes, many children, due to some problem in the family, they are dropping out their studies and not able to complete their education. So this is the biggest concern for the right of the child, that is the right of education. Next issue is also the issue related to the protection of the child. Please mute yourself. So I was discussing on the right to protection. More than 69% of the children aged 5 to 18 years old are victim of abuse at homes and schools, not only in the public places, at home also, and in the schools also. Girls are trafficked and used. They are sold. Hundreds and thousands of the children are employed in all form of labor in India. If you will find, if you will see the survey report, then the survey report will say the child are forced to work in different sectors, like in factories, in mining industries, then in different forms of places, they are using the child and giving them very hard work to do. So that is child labor, which is a big concern for the country. Next issue is with the freedom of expression. The viewpoint of children are not given due importance. Yes, it is right. We are ignoring the children. We are not giving more importance to their words. Mostly, adults take all major decisions on behalf of children. And this is the culture of India. We all know this. We are not asking, we are not discussing from children about anything which is related to the family or their own life. Unfortunately, children's participation at any level is considered least important in India. A cultural practice, children are always told to obey elders without questioning, and this quality is present in every one of us. They are always told not to express their opinion in front of elders. Am I right? Now, next issue is to the right to identity. In India, children continue to be discriminated against because of their caste, class, or religion. Each child has the right to have a surname, a first name, a nationality, and to know who his or her relatives are. So they are suffering with their identity also. So let's have a small video which will summarize the types of rights and issues related to it. So those were the problems which children are facing. Now, as I have discussed different types of child rights and the issues related to child rights, so it's not so that nobody is concerned. Of course, everyone is concerned about their rights. So the government of our country and different countries have made different laws for protecting child rights in India. So I would like to focus on the laws of protecting child rights in India. There are many more laws. It's not so that these are the few laws which are protecting the child rights, but let's come to the laws one by one. So number one, Child Labor, Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, which will help in preventing the child to work. Second, ban on corporal punishment 2000. Corporal punishment are the punishment mainly given in the school by the teachers. So it is fully banned not to punish a child. Next, Commissions for Protection of Child Rights Act 2005. National Commission and state commissions are there to protect the rights of the child. Next is Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. This is according to the Hindu Act that children are not allowed to marry before the age of 18 years in the case of girl and 21 years in the case of boys. So it is totally prohibited. Child marriage is totally prohibited under the Act, Child Marriage Act. Next is Right to Education Act 2009. Every child has a right to get education. Next is Protection of Children from Sexual Offenses, that is POCSO Act 2012, which is very important act. Everyone should know about the POCSO Act, which I'll be discussing in coming slides. The next is your Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of the Children Act, 2015. And there are many more acts and the laws related to the children. Coming to the role of UNICEF. UNICEF plays a very great role in protecting the rights of children. UNICEF has been working in India since 1949, building on over 60 years of collaboration. UNICEF continues to be an active partner of the government in striving to achieve children's rights in India. Yes, UNICEF plays a great role. During 1980s, the UNICEF assisted the United Nations Commission on Human Rights in drafting of the Convention of the Rights of the Child. Next on the rights of the child, which is an organization. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, UNCRC, was adopted by United Nations General Assembly on 20th November 1989. This became the first internationally binding instrument which recognized all the fundamental rights of the child. In the Constitution of the India also, the fundamental rights of the child are mentioned. This UNCRC, under Ministry of Women and Child Development, made National Commission and State Commission for Protection of Child Rights as statutory body in March 2007, under which Commissions for Protection of Child Rights Acts 2005 was formed. This commission has two responsibilities. The two acts under this commission are, number one, POCSO Act, Protection of Children from Sexual Offenses, and Right to Education Act 2009. So both National Commission and State Commission are playing great role in protecting the child rights under these two acts. Next important role is the role by NCRT. You all know about NCRT. Initiatives of the National Council for Educational Research and Training. Some of the articles of UNCRC have a direct bearing on child protection with a view to make the children aware of their rights. The NCRT textbook for class 8 has the articles quoted therein along with the other UNCRC articles. So in class 8 NCRT textbook, these rights are mentioned so that the children can also know their rights from class 8 also. Coming to the next topic, which is the most important topic, is role of teachers in protection of the child rights. Yes, we are here to know our role in protecting the child rights. So my question to you is, what the children need from the school? Children are the gift of God. They are the future of the nation. We as teachers have the great responsibility to promote the development and protect the rights. So now we will discuss that we as teachers, what would be our role in protecting the rights of the child? What are the needs, what the children need from the school? They need support from parents. They need positive socio-environment, and more important is quality education. We as teachers have several roles to play here that can really promote the growth of the child. So these factors will definitely help in promoting the child growth. Support from parents, positive social environment, and quality education. These will protect the rights and they will help in growing, and India will grow. What do our children need? These little one has also the right to education. So the question, what do they need? The answer for that question is here. They need safe environment for learning. They can play together. They can get opportunity to have fun. There are several acts passed, but most important act is RTEA, that is Right to Education Act. This act has the provision to protect the rights. So every teacher should know what is RTE Act and what we can do under this act. What are the provisions under this act? So the provision under RTE Acts are, when we go to the first provision, we can see that every child at the age between 6 to 14 years of age, they shall have the right for free and compulsory education. Here, I want to stress on the word free and compulsory education. What is the term free means? Here, free means no child has to pay any fees or any expense while pursuing elementary education. That free compulsory education means the local authority and the government to ensure the admission, retention, and no child is dropping out of the elementary education. Yes, it is very important under this act, their admission, their retention, and to check out whether any child is dropping out of the elementary education or not. Admission can be taken in neighborhood school that is within walkable distance of the child's residence. But the most important sense is that the neighborhood school is considered as a common place for education where it can cut across the caste, class, gender, and disability. No school should see the caste, class, gender, and disability. Admission should not be on the basis of these things. All the children learn together in the best inclusive manner. This is the most important part or the provision of RTE Act. All children learn together in the best inclusive manner. Next provision is the age-appropriate admission. Some children may drop out after taking admission. It's okay, it's common that some children can drop out because of some issues. And for such children, when they need to continue their education, they should be admitted to the school. They should not be ignored. Coming to the other provisions under RTE Acts, the next provision is all children have the right to education. Here, all children means migrant children, with disability, any type of disadvantaged children, they need equal rights for continuing their education. And if you will see the present situation of the Ukraine, then you can see that millions of children are getting migrant. So they are also having the right to get education. This should not be ignored. Next is, no child can be failed or expelled. We cannot. We cannot fail them, we cannot expel them from the school. This act also prohibits physical punishment, mental harassment, corporal punishment. This corporal punishment is the teacher's mind should not be the means to create discipline in the classroom. So this is totally banned to give punishment in any form, physical or mental harassment, any. To ensure the rights of the children, there are statutory body like NCPCR, SCPCR, or POCSO acts, which we have already discussed. Let's know about UNCRC. This states that everyone should recognize all students' rights to develop physically. Let us know that is there any linkage between school and protection of rights? Yes, we have already discussed there is linkage between school and protection of the rights of the children are linked. It's more important how to link it school along with the protection of rights of the children. School is a place where children should feel free to communicate. Of school, we can also appreciate that how school is important in protection of child rights. Number one, school provides place for learning and play. It reaches out to all children without discrimination. It provides psychological protection. It gives children an identity as a student. Yes, we give identity to the student. It protects children from diverse needs from discrimination. So not only school is appreciated that they are protecting the rights of the child, but sometimes school and teachers are danger to the students also. So let's see how the school and teachers are danger. What danger may school and teacher pose to the children? Here, teacher and school are important, but sometimes teacher can also pose danger to the students. So the number one is physical abuse as corporal punishment. Sexual abuse by teachers or others. Bullying by teachers or other student. And we all know that bullying is very common in classroom. It can be stopped. Emotional abuse by the teachers and other students. We as teachers have to stop this. Coming to the most important part, that is the role of teachers in protection of child rights. There are many types of abuse, we all know, such as physical abuse, emotional or psychological abuse, sexual abuse, and neglect. Neglect is not abuse, but it is actually not getting voice to the student, which is also a big issue in case of student. Here teachers have very important role. They have 4 important roles. Number 1, identifying abuses. Number 2, responding to abuses. Number 3, reporting of abuses. And number 4, preventing of abuses. Responding to abuse, if there is some abuse in the student, then how the teacher should respond to it. Then reporting of abuse, how it is reported, to whom is it reported. We have different acts, different laws, procedures, police, higher authorities where we can report. And number 4 is preventing abuses. We can create such environment in the school that can prevent abuse. So let's see one by one these different roles of the teacher. So first, identifying abuses. How can we identify that the child is suffering from physical abuse? Some of the signs of physical abuses are unexplained injuries or burns or bites that you can see in the child's body. Then unlikely excuses from injuries, chronic running away, self-destructive tendency, aggression towards others, distrust of adult. The student or the child stop trusting the adult, and fear of physical contact, shrinking back if touched. These kinds of signs a teacher can observe in the student. But the need a close and good rapport between a teacher and learner. If there is a good relationship between a teacher and a learner, then only teacher can find these types of signs of the physical abuse. A teacher should develop a good relationship with the student. That's why a teacher should be friendly and have the ability to communicate with them. A teacher should love the child and the children should love the teacher. Then only they will be able to find out whether a child is suffering from physical abuse or not. Coming to the next, that is sexual abuse. Besides physical abuse, we should be alert on sexual abuse also. It is something which is very serious in nature, and this can happen in school. There are a number of symptoms you can identify whether your students are going through any kind of sexual abuse or not. There can be extreme reactions, such as depression, self-mutilation. Please mute yourself. Teachers are requested to mute the mic.
खोपड़ी बोलते हैं पापा उसको उसका खोपा नहीं होता है पापा वो खोपड़ी होता है
Please check your mic. Okay, thank you. So there can be extreme reactions such as depression, self-mutilation, that is self-harming or cutting off body parts, suicide attempts, running away, sudden loss of appetite, or compulsive eating. Child started eating more and more, being isolated or withdrawn, inability to concentrate, lack of trust, or fear of someone they know. You can see these are very fearful. A teacher should establish a contact with the students to know what is happening with the student. Next is how to identify they are suffering from emotional abuse. Identify emotional abuse. If a student has gone through emotional abuse, you can check the following points. There can be sudden speech problem. There can be self-depreciation, showing lack of self-worth, overreaction to mistakes, extreme fear of any new situation, chronic running away, inappropriate response to the pain, extremes of aggression. If we as teacher observe these kinds of signs, then we can think, what can we do about it? So these were the 3 abuses and the ways we can find out that the child is suffering or not. Coming to the next point, that is neglect. Neglect is a condition that doesn't help the child to enjoy all the rights. If you want to protect the rights, then you have to stop neglecting them. You can prevent the child from any neglect. You can find out whether the child is neglected or not by the following signs: frequent hunger, stealing or hiding food, poor personal hygiene, constant tiredness, poor clothing, untreated medical problems. Untreated medical problems means if the parents are not serious related to their health, any health issue, then they will not consult the doctor. And then there will be untreated medical problem. No social relationship. So this severe neglect will result in no social relation. So these were the points to identify the abuse. Now coming to how to respond the situation. After identifying that the child is suffering from abuse, how to respond it. After identifying the abuse, teachers should respond the abuse. Now how to respond to these abuses? All the actions and reactions taken to respond abuse should be consistent with the principle of child's best interest. Yes, children interest is very important. Whatever actions we are going to take or what will be the reaction of the children, it should be in the relation with the interest of the child. It should not unnecessarily harm the child. It should not further victimize the child. We have to stand with the child till we have responded well to the child. So these were the ways to respond to the abuse. And how is it possible? It is only possible if we are mentor and friend to the student. A teacher should be mentor to the student. If a child discloses to a teacher that he and she is being or was abused, it is important to respond in calm, caring, and supportive manner. Teachers have to create supportive environment, which is more important. Supportive environment is very important to the child who is suffering from any kind of abuse. And how can we talk to them? First of all, we should stay calm. We should find a quiet place to talk because secrecy is very important to keeping the things secret. Believe in what you are being told. We should believe what the child is saying. And listen, but do not force the child for information. That's not important. You can also say to the child that you are glad that the child told you. You can also say you will do your best to protect and support the child. If necessary, seek medical help and contact the police as soon as possible. There are certain difficulties a teacher will face, but as a teacher, we have to step this. We can't ignore.
सब आता है मम्मू बेडरूम ठीक अब बात करते हैं हम लोग.
So to report the abuse, all our teachers should know there is a procedure of reporting the abuse. That is a child line number. And what is the child line number? 1098. 1098. You should also tell your students to keep this number. So those were the methods to report the abuse. First is your child line number. You can report to any police, any higher authorities. Also, there is e-box. We all know this POCSO Act. Under this act, there is e-box. So this child line number, if any child who is free to call, who feel free to call, they can call in child line number. But there are some child who are not free in talking to others about this. So in that condition, they can write in e-box. Now coming to the fourth important duty of the teacher is preventing the abuse. Make a school such an environment where the abuse should not take place. Why? Because prevention is better than cure. How a teacher can prevent abuse? Number one, upholding the teacher's code and conduct in one way or preventing abuse. You should be a role model for the child. For you, disciplined means you are developing positive environment in the school. Secondly, it will prevent physical and emotional punishment and abuse in the school and in the home. Next important point of preventing the abuse is creating awareness, which is very important. Awareness is very important. Provide awareness to the school staff, teaching and non-teaching, to the parents, and even to the students. So these were the roles of the teacher in protection of the child rights. After all these, still our children are facing a lot of problems. So we can say three things what the child needs from the school. First, safe environment. Second, opportunity to learn in better way. And third, play and enjoy the childhood. That is the way how we can protect the child rights as a teacher. So I thought in this session, teachers came to know that how to be a good friend to the children. As a teacher, we have great responsibilities on our shoulder to promote the development of the children and protect their rights. When the children are treated with kindness and respect, they learn to treat others with respect and kindness. So let's see a small video.
Hi. In this video, we're going to be talking to you about child rights and responsibilities. But I'm not going to tell you about them.
Okay, sir.
Hi. In this video, we're going to be talking to you about...
They're not able to see the video.
child rights and responsibility. Hi. In this video, we're going to
Sir,
be talking
are
to
you
you
able
about
to see
child
the
rights
video?
and responsibilities.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hi. In this video, we're going to be talking to you about child rights and responsibilities. But I'm not going to tell you about them. These guys are.
Are you ready? I have the right to affection and understanding. I have the right to proper nutrition and care. I have the right to protection from all forms of neglect, cruelty, abuse, exploitation, humiliation, retaliation, and ridicule. I have the right to play. I have the right to be rescued first. I have the right to learn and be an active member of society, developing my individual abilities to reach my full potential. I have the right to be brought up in the spirit of peace. I have the right to freedom of thought and expression. I have the right to participate in decisions that affect me. I have the right to high quality, inclusive services that honor diversity and meet my needs. I have the right to be spoken to in a manner that conveys respect. I have the right to receive communication in a language or form that enables me to be independent. I have the right to be viewed as a person first. I have the right to have my contributions honored and valued. I have the right to have the things that are important to me accepted, honored, and supported. I have the right to have my choices regarding lifestyle honored. I have the right to enjoy these rights regardless of my race, color, gender, spiritual beliefs, national or social origin, family composition, and sexual orientation. I have the right to receive information about my rights and responsibilities. These are my rights at RSCL.
That's all from my side in this session. Bharat sir? Thank you for your cooperation, sir, and thank you for your support. So please share the attendance link. Okay. May I leave, sir? Thank you, sir.